And we're on the telephone with former County Commissioner Couy Griffin, who was in court today, the 19th of December, 2023. The jury trial regarding the squatter case and your criminal charges with that. Is that right, Couy?
That's correct, Anthony. Yeah, it was today I finally had my day in court, and it's been a long, drawn-out process. There's been a lot of media that's covered kind of what has gone on, and in my opinion, one-sided. But today was a good day. Today the facts were presented, evidence was presented, and I started out with 5 charges against me. And at the end of the day, I was exonerated on all 5. Really, I was hoping and expecting this result, and I don't say that I try not to say that in an arrogant way, Anthony, but I just in kind of a real way, I guess you would say, because I know what took place, and today that was proven through the court. So it's been a good day.
So my understanding is you got a full not guilty of harassment, other charges were dropped, and the jury was hung on the trespassing 5-1. I just want to know how you can trespass on your own property. But anyway, is that the right, do I have the right information there?
That's correct. Yeah, I started out with 5 charges. The state brought the evidence on those charges at the beginning of trial. And then after they brought that evidence, the judge considered it, dismissed 3 of those charges on just a lack of any evidence at all. And then we proceeded forward in trial on the 2 charges of trespass and harassment. And you're right on what you say. I won a full acquittal on the harassment charge, and it was a hung jury on the trespass.
I would like to ask the one person that wouldn't agree with the rest of them how someone can trespass on their own property. But then again, I also know New Mexico has got some of the screwiest squatter laws in the land.
What's worse than the screwiest squatter laws is the way that our courts are run. It's like today in trial, here I sit in Alamogordo, New Mexico. I've got a judge that's from Roosevelt County, Mitchell, because none of the judges of Otero County would sign off on an arrest warrant to throw me in jail. So Sergeant Matt Mirabal of the Otero County Sheriff's Department had to go outside of our county to request an arrest warrant. And so I sat in a courtroom in Alamogordo with not only a judge that was from outside of the county, but also a prosecutor that was from Hidalgo County. So here I am on trial in Otero County, and I have a judge from Roosevelt and a prosecutor from Hidalgo. And it's just not the way it should be, I don't believe. If somebody from in Otero County is going to bring charges, then it should be handled inside the county. We shouldn't be prosecuted by a judge from another county, in my opinion.
Well, Couy, if the government as a whole, and I'm going to include the judicial branch of the government, if the government was able to operate as designed and honestly, people like me and the media would not have a job. I just want to point that out.
Sure. If the government was to be operating honestly and constitutionally in the way they should, they would be taking care of our borders right now and our security. That's why our federal government was formed. It wasn't formed in a manner to legislate over the top of us and rule over us. Those measures should be taken by local county government. That's the drum that I've been beating since I entered into office, and it's a drum that I'm going to continue to beat. The only way we're going to get our country back the way every American wants is on the ground level, on the county level, or on the city level or village level or the local level.
I don't know about what we all want there, Couy, as far as what it said. I don't know if I agree with you about what we all want, because there are a growing population of Americans who are welcoming more government control and socialism, which is scary.
I would agree with you absolutely. And our government's out of control, but our judiciary's out of control, and our courts have been weaponized against us, and it's not only on the federal level, but it's also on the local level, because that's what happened to me on this deal. Here, this guy comes from Washington, D.C., he comes here to Otero County, then he leaves on his own accord after he causes this mess. So the only way the state can proceed with this matter is if they have the victim, because you have to have a victim to have court. So what does the state of New Mexico do? They fly this guy and his chaperone for all the way from Washington, D.C. back here to Otero County so he can be present at this hearing so they can go forward with these charges. And at the end of the day, they lose on all fronts. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars. And Judge Mitchell for Roosevelt County should be embarrassed to have even gone forward with this trial.
But yet the trial did take place. The jury of peers did hear both sides, and you came out correct. Just fine. So that's good news as far as that goes.
And I'm rejoicing. I don't mean to sound so stern in tone, you know. I mean, I've kind of been in that area where I've been fighting for so long. Sometimes I kind of get worked up and speak in a strong tone, but I don't want my tone to discount how grateful I am today as well for having the win that I did, for hopefully getting all of this behind me, and being able to focus on the next battle because there's sure to be one.
Speaking of other battles, was the Supreme Court not supposed to have an opinion written for you by now?
That's correct. They were. They were supposed to respond by December 14th, but they requested more time. So, I mean, I responded to my attorney, and I'm like, where are we at on this? And he said they asked for more time. Now it's the middle of January. So where we sit right now, the New Mexico Supreme Court should respond by mid-January on that removal order.
And in mid-January is when we should also hear from D.C., is that correct?
Well, you know, they said 6 to 8 weeks. I was thinking it was 4 to 6, and they said, no, probably more like 6 to 8. So we had the trial, 3 weeks ago maybe, or 2, I don't know, but yeah, it'll be coming up soon.
All right.
So hopefully we'll have some good wins soon, Anthony. I'm glad that the jury today, that was a very diverse jury, I might add. There was 5 women, 1 man, you know, and they were a very diverse jury, and I'm very grateful for the service that they had and be willing to come in and devote their time. You know, I mean, that's what it takes. Anybody out there that's listening to this, I just want to tell you that your chances are much better before a jury than before a judge. Seek a jury trial.
All right. Former County Commissioner Couy Griffin, thank you so much for joining us, and we will...
Always appreciate you, Anthony.
We'll be in touch.